Hey YouTubers, this is Anita Cherie, back again to talk to you about something very important. Now, a reason why I decided to make this video today is because of two very important reasons. Two. One, I didn't tell you the secret at the end of the last video. Two, a little known fact about what the difference between breakage, split ends, whatever you want to call it, versus sheddage. How do you tell what's sheddage and how do you tell what's breakage? That's a lot of people ask that question because in order to retain length or to grow any kind of length, you have to know the difference between sheddage and breakage. Yeah, got it right. So let's start this slow here. Breakage is when your hair breaks somewhere in between your hair and not exactly at your hair follicle. It's usually due to harsh handling of the hair, combing of the hair, maybe an accessory that you're putting in your hair, something that's forcefully removing your hair. Sheddage is something totally different. Sheddage is a natural process. The hair is kind of excavating old hair to make way for new hair. Now there's two ways that you can tell what's sheddage and what's breakage. One, if there's not a lot of it, because 50 to 11 hairs you should be shedding a day. If it's not a lot of it, probably it's sheddage. Alright? And what you'll see at the end of your hair follicle is it's very tiny, like almost a little smaller than that. It's almost like a little white follicle at the very end of it. That's sheddage. That's natural. It's breaking off at the follicle. It's coming out. New hair is growing in. Breakage is in between. The hair can be slightly split in the bottom. There's no follicle that's attached to the hair. That, unfortunately, is breakage, and that's really what we want to avoid. Ways to avoid this is by using a conditioner and never ever brushing your hair dry. Being very careful about brushing your hair dry and just being loving with your hair, being careful with the hair, massaging your scalp, taking care of everything. I'm sure you guys have heard this 1,000 times before. If you're watching videos, chances are you've heard it 1,000 times before. I've heard it 1,000 times before. Chances are you have as well. So just look for the end of your hair and see if you have a little white follicle at the very end, and see if it's forcefully removed or it's broken or one end of the hair is slightly longer. You want to make sure that when you feel your hair is nicely greased and, well, not, I wouldn't say greased, but nicely moisturized, and that your hair is retaining the moisture as well. Different types of hair needs different type of moisture. So just, be mindful of that. Hair is never the same. So always, make sure you know what your hair likes. You got to get to know your hair. It's like a person. It's like a plant. Know it, love it, live it, leave it, I guess, because you don't want to touch it too much. Also, little known fact. This is really what I wanted to get to today. Voila. Don't know if you can see this. Can you see it? This is an initiative that Starbucks actually does. If you like Starbucks, which I do, love Starbucks. An initiative that they're doing is Grounds for Your Garden. What they do is they take premium coffee, which is espresso beans, that they use in their Mastrena espresso machine, and they're putting it in a bag and they're putting it in a little pail. Not all Starbucks do it, but a lot of Starbucks do it. And you can actually take these grounds home for free. Free. Like you can, and this is a small bag. Like this isn't a big bag. You can bring a tub of it and you can use it. I want to read you a few things. We're going to read this together. How to use old coffee grounds. This is something that I found at ehow.com. Right now, we're in a crisis right now with our planet. We really have to take care of our planet and be green, I guess. Not green in the sense that's taboo, but green in the sense that works for you. And just take care of the earth, because if we take care of the earth will take care of us in eventuality. There's 12 ways to use old coffee grounds. One is to use as garden compost. That's how Starbucks markets it. It's old coffee grounds for your garden. Plants love coffee. It revitalizes it. It makes it grow 25% larger. I mean, coffee has so many uses. Animals love coffee, especially the green coffee extract they're finding helps lose weight. So you can always use it as compost. And the coffee has, it says here, I'll read it. Coffee contains important vitamins and nutrients that are required for plants to grow properly. If works equally well for flowers or fruits and vegetables, there is a side benefit for using coffee grounds in your garden. The grounds help keep slugs and snails at bay. So it keeps certain animals or bugs that you wouldn't want in your garden away, which is really good. So if you have a garden and you have a sustainable garden that you feed your family with, that's probably a really good way to do it. Step number 2, use coffee grounds in your worm garden, and they actually love caffeine. What they do is with the caffeine, they make a healthy meal for these worms, and they do their job and they breed better. So if you have a worm garden, I don't know anybody who has a worm garden. It's kind of weird. I don't know. I mean, actually, you know what? No, I've seen those little worm gardens before. They're like in a glass, and you can see the worms kind of going through the dirt. Anyways, worm garden, you can use it for that. Number 2, you can use coffee grounds for in crafting antique paper or fabric. They give paper an authentic parchment look while giving white or ivory fabric a decided vintage flair. So maybe you have a wedding invitation that you're getting ready to do, or you have an invitation, or maybe like a notary. No, not a notary, a notebook, or stationery that you like to use. You can take coffee grounds and actually dye your paper with it, which is great. This also can rejuvenate. Step number 4, it can rejuvenate dark fabrics in shades of deep chocolate brown or even black when you use coffee grounds. So what you would do is you take 3/4 cups of grounds in a gallon of water. The stronger the resulting liquid mixture, the better. Pour the liquid grounds and all into your washer before adding your dark brown or black clothing. Set the machine on a gentle cycle. Once finished, what will be left is rejuvenated fabrics. I really want to try this one and see what happens, because I have some brown shirts that have like they're kind of dingy. So it would rejuvenate it, give it a deeper, darker color. You can use it on a dress. You can use it on whatever you want to use. Step 5. Use grounds as natural. This is one of the things I want to get to. As natural skin exfoliant. Just like sugar and salt, coffee grounds can provide a very natural exfoliant for skin. However, coffee grounds have another side benefit. The caffeine, and this is important, the caffeine in coffee helps to stimulate the growth of new skin cells. To use the grounds in this manner, allow them to dry out thoroughly, then mix them with your favorite body wash and apply to the skin with a net ball or loofah sponge. Light-haired individuals should be careful, however, not to let the mixture come in contact with their hair, as coffee's natural dye might change light color. So that's something you should really be careful. So if you're a blonde or if you have lighter colored hair, don't put it directly in your hair. Make sure you leave at least a couple inches between your hairline and your skin. That way you're not dyeing your hair. Step number 6. Use coffee grounds to make a rinse for brunette hair. So that's what I was kind of getting at. You can actually dye your hair with coffee. Think about that. Okay, just think about that for a second, because I got excited when I read this, because a lot of times people are worried about dyeing their natural hair because they don't want to dry it, because dyeing your hair can really dry out your hair. It can dry out your hair a lot. So using something natural to dye your hair is always a great alternative. That way you're not putting any harsh chemicals in your hair. At the same token, you can dye your hair a darker color. So coffee can be used to dye your hair. I'll continue to read. According to hairstylists, a coffee rinse will not only add depth and dimension to dark hair, but will always add shine by removing any excess product buildup. Some claim that coffee acts as a natural dye to infuse brown color back into white or gray hair. Use the same type of mixture in step 4 above, but allow it to cool before using. Wash the hair normally and condition if you so desire. End the procedure by adding some coffee rinse, working it through the hair thoroughly and allowing it to sit between 3 and 5 minutes. Rinse thoroughly with water and enjoy your luscious new dark locks. That's a pretty cool one. This is another one. This is step 7. So we got 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. A couple more. Try an old model trick using coffee grounds to disguise the look of cellulite. This is a big problem, I know, for some women. When we have that cellulite, a lot of times after having children, or maybe you gain some weight in places you don't desire, you can use coffee to disguise cellulite to make it look like it's not there. So what you would do is mix the coffee grounds with vitamin E oil and massage into area where the cellulite exists. Repeat the process 2 or 3 times each time you bathe or shower. It is believed that the natural diuretic effect of caffeine will help to dehydrate fat cells to reduce the appearance of ugly cellulite. As a side benefit, the coffee grounds also work as a natural exfoliant to freshen the skin whenever it is applied. So not only will you have disappearing cellulite, you also have softer, fresher skin, which is good. Number 8 is use the natural dye properties of coffee to repair scratches on dark furniture or cabinetry. Mix the grounds with just enough olive oil to make a heavy paste. Using a small paintbrush, paint the coffee paste mixture into the scratched, dent, or broken wood piece. Let it sit between 15 to 30 minutes and then wipe away. The natural dye in the coffee mixture will help the scratch or dent disappear, while any broken chunks of wood won't be fixed. Which it's not that magical. It's not going to fix the crack in your furniture, but the darkness of the coffee will make it appear as though the furniture or cabinet is still intact. Number 9. Rub coffee grounds on your hands to remove pungent odors left behind after cutting garlic or onions. Love that, because there have been times that I've had dinner parties and I've cut onions in my hand. It smells like onions. You know, like the really strong, like kind of weird smelling ones, especially if you cut onions and garlic together. You can take coffee, make a paste, use like your favorite lotion or soap, and just leave it next to your kitchen sink. Rub it in your hands, and that will actually get rid of the smell. Number 10, rub coffee grounds on your pet before bathing to repel any fleas. The ground also acts as a natural skin exfoliant to help keep your pet's skin smooth and soft. So if you have a doggy or kitty who's been out running wild like a crazy dog or a crazy cat, which my dog is, you can take your coffee grounds, or my dog was. That's another story for another day. You can take the coffee grounds and rub it into the dog's skin, and that will cause the dog to not have fleas, or cat not to have fleas, or gerbil, or rats. Wouldn't use it on snakes though. I don't know how that would work. Anyways, things that have hair, it would probably be something better. Number 11, use coffee grounds as natural tenderizer for meat. Not only will it make the meat easier to cut and eat, it will add excellent flavor as well. Mix about 1.5 cups of coffee grounds with other favorite seasoning like pepper, garlic powder, seasonal, or anything else that you generally use in your meat marinade. Dump about 1/2 of the mixture into a cup of olive oil and mix thoroughly. Put the meat onto the marinade mixture. Rub the remaining coffee mixture on top of the meat as it sits, coating each side as it marinates. For about 15 minutes per side, remove the marinade and cook or grill as you please for a wonderful, flavorful tender meats dish. Pretty cool. I will be trying that. If you guys want me to try any of these, except for the animal one, I don't like to do stuff with animals on camera or off camera actually. I barely like to wash my dog. So I would be more than happy to try some of this stuff and just to see how it works and kind of test it out for you first. Also, another thing you can do, this is number 12, final way. You can always get rid of bad odors in refrigerators and freezers by placing some old coffee grounds into the appliances. This will keep them absorb unpleasant odors and keep everything smelling fresh. So this has got some good stuff on here. You can put it in your feet. It tells you how to contain the coffee grounds without letting them get moldy, because if you do let them sit moist for a long period of time, they will get moldy. Let's see. Of course, it says don't use coffee grounds on skin that's been injured or scraped or scratched. So these are some stuff that's on here that I thought would be interesting to you guys. How coffee is really a great way of being green, helping the earth, recycling stuff, and not only that, leaving your skin, cellulite, furniture, dogs, cats, meats. I mean, I can keep going. It's just so many uses for coffee grounds. So go ahead and go down to your local Starbucks, get yourself some free coffee grounds, and enjoy. I'm going to go ahead and do a tutorial too on skincare on the coffee ground. I'm going to do an exfoliation with it. I gotta get all my stuff, like some vitamin E, stuff like that, to see how that's gonna work. But happy coffee hunting. I hope everything goes well, and thank you for spending some time with me, spending these minutes with me. Know you're busy. I appreciate it. So come see me again. Anita Cherie. See you next time.